Good morning. We are out to take all the coverings off the plants and feed the animals and prepare for the storms coming Sunday. It's going to be a little bit of a busy day for us, but we are trying. It's chilly out here too, but we're going to get as much as we can done. Dad's actually headed out to trim our hedges because they are very, very tall again. Anyway, hey Charlotte. You coming, Faith? So far it doesn't look really bad out here, so hopefully everything made it. Looks like there's some frost on that back pasture. So beautiful. These apple trees smell heavenly, especially with the lilacs backing it up. Well, we better get to work. I think we used every sheet and blanket and pillow slip in our house for this. There we go. Got a lot to do. So thankful it all made it. Thank you, Lord. I'm really excited to see this variety of tulip bloom. We put this in a couple of months ago and it's a parrot variety, so the petals are gonna frizzle right here. And they are really stunning tulips. I've been wanting to put one in and we finally found one and it was on clearance, all the better. So we put these in. These ones are striped, so they're gonna come out with like a yellowy white and then red ribbing. And they are absolutely beautiful tulips. I've got a tulip that isn't a parrot but looks a lot like this. So I am excited to see these blooming. First rose of the year. All done. Now we have to either line dry them, wash them, put them in the wet dryer, or, you know. That is a lot of sheets. Now it's time to go feed the animals. This view is so beautiful. Always love mornings out here. This is one of my mom's peonies. We got, I think, 2 years ago, and it's just now got a bloom for the first time. One of her favorite flowers. We're gonna need to end up dealing with this burn pile down here. This is all the stuff we took off of our trees, storm damage, suckling wood that we cut out, that kind of stuff. We are expecting a ton, and I do mean a ton, of rain over this weekend, starting tomorrow morning. They're predicting some pretty bad storms for our area. So today is going to mostly be preparing for those storms. Our entire yard pretty much is on a hill, so that means we've got an issue with flash flooding in the more levelly areas as they go. All the water tends to drain off the hill and then through the orchard through here and then back into the back pasture back there and then across the entire pasture, back down the yards, across our neighbor's driveway, and then into our creek down to the lake. So we are checking our trenches. These keep the garden from flooding. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a trench all along here. And actually, we've got another one coming this way because we've got a lot of water that comes from there. But we took it up and around our low side of our garden. And before we did this, every single time it rained, this side of our garden got washed out. And we'd lose all that compost on top, and it was very, very frustrating. So we put this trench in, and I think it's rained really hard twice since then. And we haven't had to redo anything over here. I actually was able to re-sow the peas on this side that keep getting washed out. So we are they're calling for like 3 inches of rain an hour. So we are gonna go back through. Really? You already got your breakfast. But we're gonna go back through and make sure that the trenches are all clear. I'm gonna go ahead and add some shavings. Hi, babies. Hi. I'm gonna go ahead and add some shavings to the barns and just get everyone ready for some nasty weather. They're calling for 70-mile-an-hour winds with this system, which straight line winds can do as much damage as a small tornado. So we'll be out here, and anything that can possibly blow, we're gonna have to batten down or bring in. So we're gonna re-secure these row covers probably a little bit better. The greenhouse, the shell of it's coming off. The plant stakes up there, which look like just a funny pile, are going into the playhouse, which is our studio. The wire, I know it looks ridiculous just sitting there, but because of the freeze, we didn't want to arbor. We've got peas going along this whole row right here. And actually, down there, stepped in the trench. Down there where the white fence is all peas. So we wanted to cover this side up as much as possible. So we didn't put our trellis in yesterday like we were going to. So we're gonna have to secure that wire so it doesn't blow around. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Clean up, protecting it from frost, and preparing for tornado weather, which our neighborhood tends to get quite a bit strong line winds. Which is why we planted so many trees. And it's very, very hot in the summer. But we're going to be getting ready for windy, rainy, nasty weather, and trying to prepare as much as we can. Oh, I did leave my hoodie out here. Whoops. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. It's actually turning into a lovely day out here. Thought I'd give you a bit of a garden tour while I'm out here kind of getting ready for the storms. Right here we've got peas on the outside, kohlrabi kind of in the front part of this bed, which changes to Brussels sprouts, and then purple of Sicily cauliflower down at the end. This row is broccoli. It's not completely finished. We've got another batch in the used to be in the greenhouse. It's now in the dining room. Doesn't everyone have a dining room converted into a greenhouse? This row is cabbage, which changes over to lettuce, and then lettuce and onions down there. I'm gonna come back and fill in between these lettuce heads up here with onions also. This is a bit of a mixture. The chickens got in and really messed it over. It was supposed to be all orca and just a mixed green. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but I'm gonna stick with it. This was an Aurora mix, which you can see them down there. It's the kind of purpley leaves with the green. But the chickens got in and really messed it up, so we ended up going back and adding some head lettuce, some leafy romaine. I don't remember, I think those are red sale lettuce down on the other side of that. Down here we've got some onions mixed in. Our next bed is onions. I believe these are one of the sweet beds. And then down here we've got garlic, which is looking amazing. White onions. No. Those are sweet too. Red onions. And then down here are all white onions with the lettuce. Along the fence row, we've got English peas, and then in front of it, there's of course red onions. Over here is our herb garden, and we're actually going to move most of this out of here to our new herb garden. We've got lots of cilantro, oregano, thyme, catnip, more cilantro, bee balm, rosemary's in the center. I planted seeds for borage and mullein, but I think the chickens got to the bed first and disturbed it too much. Over here is lettuce, and in a mix in there is Chinese cabbage, the dwarf pak choy. Down here we have asparagus, which it's our first time growing these, and I'm so excited. Look at how cute those are. We've got both beds full of those, and then down there we've got rhubarb for my dad. He loves it. Also for my dad, we put in snow peas this year. We don't really eat them, he does. And then we've got garlic growing around the edges. Over here in this lovely little row, we've got carrots. More English peas, more carrots. English peas, carrots. Continues all the way down. We've got peas on every arbor right now. Because we have such a short growing season for those. So we would have had these, normally we would have some beans on these, but this year we are trying succession planting, and we're starting early with peas, and then once these die back, we're going to go ahead and sow our pole beans on them. I may actually reserve one for our cucumbers, because growing them on cattle panels actually works really well. Again, we've got multiple types of carrots growing in the front of these, and even we did another row back by our peas. This is our berry patch. This is our first year growing these thornless blackberries. We put them in oh, I don't know, July, June, something last year, and they are just covered in blooms this year. This variety actually is supposed to produce twice in one season, which is really neat. This is our raspberry canes. My gold raspberry down there has died, sadly. More raspberries. Over here we've got our blueberries, which I need to clean up all these tomato cages. But we've got 2 different blueberry bushes over here. I think they're called baby cakes. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look that up again. And then along this white wall we've got peas, and this whole area is actually potatoes right here. These are all Yukon Gold potatoes. We're trying a new method for planting them. We're not growing them in a raised bed this year. Normally we kind of layer the ground, like layer them one on top of each other, through layers of soil in a raised bed. This year we're not doing that. We're not mounding them. We just put them straight in the ground with this no-dig garden bed, which is also a first for us. We're having a little bit of trouble with crabgrass. But we're going to go ahead and tarp what hasn't been planted and just go ahead and smother it. So that shouldn't be too big of a problem. But the potatoes are looking fabulous. Look at this. That's it for right now. As it warms up, we're going to be putting in lots more. We've got watermelon. I actually got a 200-pound watermelon variety this year. Really excited about that one. But up there is going to be our new herb garden. We're going to put peppers, zucchini, I don't remember what the next bed is, squash, bush beans, that was it. And early jalapenos are going right there. Dad made these awesome plant stakes for us. We actually have a bunch. I may have gone crazy on my tomatoes this year. I think I've got like 7 varieties planted. But that's okay. We like our tomatoes. Anyway, we have this side all roped out for our more warm-loving crops that are going to be coming in 2 to 3 weeks-ish, depending on our weather. This side is pretty much planted. Most of this will be out by July. I'm going to go ahead and let you in on what we're going to plant and we've got planned for this area. We are planning next year on moving our raised beds in here where it's just too slopey to garden actually in the soil. We're going to move our raised beds in here instead and then do no dig all through where our raised beds are, which is going to maximize our growing space. I'm trying to convince Dad that we need to build a bigger greenhouse. We're all agreed that we need a bigger greenhouse. Just the building it part has been the issue, but we're talking about taking this whole area and putting a greenhouse in here, which would be fabulous. Because honestly, we are busting at the seams and that greenhouse is just not big enough, especially for a garden this big. But these ones up here are our actual, well, these three are our newest beds. Like I said, this one's going to be our herb garden, and I've already started seeding direct sow stuff in here. We're not really sure what the next few are going to be yet. We have a ton of stuff to get in the ground, plus most of the raised beds aren't spoken for, so we are trying to figure out what we want to put where. It's always the fun part. We got lots of flowers. We're going to grow. I'm going to finish up this arbor right here, which is made out of limbs from our tree that actually fell. So we took the really long limbs, cut them at the top, and we're going to tie the tops together and grow sweet peas up it. Our gate is also from our burn pile, actually. We just pulled together all the sticks and created something out of them, which it's really cool to be able to do that. And it actually turned out really well. I'm really impressed by that gate. But as the year progresses, this is all gonna fill in. I think we've got like 40 different tomato plants and probably close to that many peppers, so it's gonna fill in really fast. But there's a quick little tour. Everyone, I need to wrap this video up, so we are pretty much prepared for the storms tomorrow. I've still got to take the umbrella down and just a couple other things. For the most part, everything else is battened down. The animals are ready to go, so I'm going to close this video off. Goodbye from the cottage. We'll see you next time.